FAO says defines agroecology as a holistic and integrated approach that simultaneously applies ecological and social concepts and principles to the design and management of sustainable agriculture and food systems. And if we look at the Lamaya Kakasina definition, it describes agroecology as peasant agroecology. It is a living practice that works in nature and not against it, acknowledging farmers and communities' rights to self-determination and autonomy. So you can see that all our definitions are captured in this book. We all have very good understanding of agriculture. At least you're not starting from zero. Important to note is that we are looking at sustainable agriculture and food systems, and we are looking at working with nature and not against it. So, if we are to look at the key aspects of agroecology, first of all, agroecology is a scientific discipline, or it is a science. In most of the definitions you come across, they'll tell you agroecology is a science, it is a movement, it is a practice. From the video that we watched, we saw all these happening. There is research happening from the science discipline. We have people doing the actual practices. We've seen lots of people, seen people demonstrating. Of course, it's summarized here, but at least we had a grasp of what people do, the actual practice of agriculture, utilizing the animal waste, utilizing household wastes, to just keep, to just promote a sustainable environment for everyone to survive. And then looking at it as a movement, it doesn't require only a smaller set of actors to promote agriculture. If we are talking at the movement part of it, this is where we are looking at the politics. This is where policymakers come in. This is where other organizations come in. We create a movement, an agroecology movement, and we promote that agenda. So the reason we say that agroecology is a science is because it requires a lot of research. Every day, every time you're doing a practice, you are learning out of it. And that is farmer-led research, what is that called farmer-led research, or farmer-informed research. And because different farms have different agroecologies, you realize that you might be doing the same practice for your farm, and another person is doing the same at their farm, but the results are a bit different. It's because of the difference in the agroecologies. The feeds, the animal feeds that in West Nile are probably not the animal feeds in the Western region. So that also speaks a lot about the agroecologies and how they contribute to promoting or to improving our environment. So you don't expect a cow from like a Pilipiliti to give you the same waste as a cow from Barara. They're different, they're feeding differently. So because they're feeding differently, the wastes also come with different nutrients. It is the same application procedure, same practices, but the results need to be different because of the nutrients that are coming out of it, the things that we use. So these are just highlighting or emphasizing what we have just explained. Agroecology as a science refers to the integration of research, education, action, and change that brings sustainability to all parts of the food system, ecologically, economically, and socially. It is contributing to all that. And then if you look at agroecology as a practice, it involves various approaches to solve the actual challenges of agriculture production. It is looking for ways to improve the agriculture system, by focusing more on the natural processes, creating beneficial biological interactions and building synergies amongst the different components in the ecosystem. And it is also looking at, as a practice, it's looking at minimizing the excessive use of synthetic and toxic cultural inputs, and also using ecological processes and ecosystem services for the development and implementation of agricultural practices. Then agroecology as a social movement, it's a solution to modern crises such as climate change and malnutrition, contrasting with the dominant industrial agriculture model based on the use of external inputs. The aim is to transform agriculture to build locally relevant food systems that strengthen the economic viability of rural areas based on short marketing chains and both fair and safe food production. So you realize that in most of the agroecological movements, what we are looking at is having safe food for everyone. We are looking at having a more friendly environment that everyone works with. We are looking at exploring the opportunities in the markets. How do we promote ecological markets? What opportunities are there that we can utilize? I think after this we shall go for our practice ready. Agroecology, are we all aware about the SDGs? What has been your contribution to the SDGs? As a youth, how have you contributed to the SDGs? There are many, but what we have highlighted here is just where we feel that agroecology is contributing directly. So before we get into that, let's just
Okay.
I just want to say some short videos on the SDGs.
And we're back. The team is looking down the barrel of 455 meaning.
Any problem? Yes. Yes.
I think the last card is H.
Some of us may have some questions here.
The world is facing a series of challenges that threaten our way of life: climate change, biodiversity loss, hunger and malnutrition, and persistent poverty. The UN Sustainable Development Goals were established to meet these challenges. The SDGs lay out an ambitious path for building a sustainable world and redesigning the way we produce, distribute, transport and consume our food, safeguard the environment, and promote social interaction. Agroecology can play an important role to achieve these goals. Agroecology applies ecological principles and concepts to the study, design, and management of sustainable food systems. It centers on food and agricultural production that makes the best use of nature's precious resources, including us, human beings. Agroecology promotes rural development and a social dimension that closely links farmers, consumers, governments, and all other actors in the food value chain. It supports good nutrition, fair markets, agrobiodiversity, healthy ecosystems, and traditional knowledge and customs. Agroecology is knowledge-driven. It recognizes the complex interactions between the components of the agroecosystem, encompassing resource availability, soils, aquaculture, climate, crops, animals and trees, local culture, markets, and social organization. Agroecology reconnects people to their food and producers to consumers, making healthy food accessible to all consumers and available for its use in healthy and sustainable diets. But it is important to recognize how agroecology works at each distinct level, from the farm to the community to the wider agroecosystem. True agroecological practices are context-specific. Each agroecological farm is unique based on the local ecosystem and crop-animal interactions. In the next decade, we will have to produce food more sustainable for an ever-growing population, while using the same precious resources in our planet. Agroecology is one of the means to achieve this. FAO supports this agroecological path through a series of initiatives and ongoing efforts to scale it up. To find out more about agroecology, all its benefits, and how it can help you contribute to the fight against hunger, malnutrition, biodiversity loss, rural poverty, and climate change, please visit FAO's website and the Agroecology Knowledge Hub.
Okay, so we shall have quite a number of videos, but most of them we shall share in our groups because most of them are like bringing out the agro practices. So we shall be sharing in our groups more, but this was just to give us a wider picture of what we are going to discuss. So do we have any questions? Yes, please.
Thank you so much. I would wish to know what are some of the key objectively verifiable indicators that you use to define an agroecological farm.
Any other?
Yes, agroecology completely for our problem as you see the difference. Is it really focusing more on organic products or because of integrating something else? Yes, please.
According to different definitions, FAO has a way it defines agroecology. What is the real definition? Now, the real definition of agroecology.
The original definition I'll start from that will be created by you.
Eh,
Yeah, how do you understand it? You as a person. Because even as we sharing our understanding, everyone had a different definition, but we ended up speaking the same language.
Okay.
Yeah. So organic agriculture is a component of agroecology. Though most of the times we think agroecology is part of organic agriculture, but agroecology is really wide. It caters for quite a lot of things. And much as in this movement, we don't always talk about the use of synthetic chemicals in our agriculture system, sometimes it is there, but it is regulated. There are minimum levels. Though as a movement, as advocates, that is something we never talk about. But it is there at a minimum level. And why is it minimized? Because most of the times these chemicals are interrupting how nature works. So, and if we put them out there, if we tell people that, you know what, you can use a little bit, you're not going to manage Vianney's farm when he's spraying. For him, if the bottle says use only 2 minutes, be like, these worms have been here for a long time. They need 10 minutes. Yeah. So you realize that instead of only killing the worms, it's also killing some nutrients, some matter in the soil that we actually need. But also when we talk about agroecology, we are looking at coexistence. Yeah, we are not looking at killing the worms or what, but how can we exist with them? One time I was in a training with Dr. Rongo. He's a lecturer at Uganda University, and he has a PhD in agroecology, and was telling us the only indicator of food security is diversity. If in your house you don't have cockroaches, you don't have rats, you don't have all these small ants, there are higher chances that you don't have enough food. Because they also go where there is food. Yeah, and for us, our role is to always fight with these rats every day, kill them. Yeah, cockroaches, wherever you see to get a sand or normal, I don't know why it's a sand that is used as silk and a broom. But it's all about coexistence. We can all live in the same space and share the resources because everything has its own contribution to the way we live our lives. So, like I asked in the beginning, these SDGs that we are looking at were supposed to run up to 2030. We are in 2024. Just to think about it, what have we done to contribute to these SDGs? Yes, please.
I have a question. My question was, how do we expand the ecological market towards the sustainable agriculture and also the food systems towards the responsible farmers?
So, this particular answer, you will get it as we proceed. And then I was also asked about the indicators of an agroecological farm or agroecological farmer. The indicators. First of all, we are looking at nutrition here, good health. So if some of the indicators would say this household or this farmer has enough food. Why? They're using sustainable food production means. We look at their health. We look at how they are relating with the environment around them. Just actually the biggest impact would be to look at the actual change in the environment around that farm. But even if it's a dry season, it's been 4 months of 2 months sunshine, this environment around this farmer is still green. This farmer still has enough food. So those are some of the indicators. It's just you looking at the environment and how is it keeping this farmer alive? How is he being sustained with the environment around him? As the neighbors are crying, they're hungry, they're going to bed hungry. It's their children moving around looking for young mangoes and raw cassava and stuff. This farmer here has enough to take him throughout the day. It's more food security. They have enough, they're accessing all the meals they need for that day. Enough meals, not just having one piece of cassava for breakfast. It should be enough.
It's clean.
Yes.
Thank you everyone. Good morning. I'm sorry I came a bit late. Yesterday we came back from my village. I wasn't feeling well. But in order to us, okay for me to meet people. My name is Agroecology. I work with Uganda Agricultural Services as a project coordinator in agroecology projects. And at the same time, I'm the YPARD ambassador for Leader District in Uganda. I just wanted to just add on something about the indicators to prepare the agroecological farm. One of the indicators we use at Uganda Forum in the agroecology project, we make sure that when we go to a farm, we analyze the farm and in line with the principles of agroecology. For example, if we go to a farm, the first thing we see is how diverse is the farm. And what are the various crops that are growing? It shouldn't be only one or two crops. If a farmer is a commercial farmer, is he also growing the food crops? Then when it comes to animals, what are the livestock that he has in the farm? Maybe he can be having a cattle and goats, chicken, ducks, and what. So that one we know that okay, that farm is diverse. Now when it comes to recycling, what are the things he's doing? Is he making good use of water at home? Is he tapping water from the roof and using it on the farm? Is he recycling waste management in the farm? So those are the various indicators that we always use to know that really this farm is practicing agroecology. And then also agroecology, in agroecology, we also look at the use of the local foods and the integrated foods. That one contributes so much to zero harm as one of the components of SDGs that we have. Yes. So when we look at that, when we look at that, you find that the farm is having various foods and it is contributing to nutrition, because when we say zero hunger, it is not only the food that we eat, but how is it balanced and how nutritious is that food that a farmer eats at his home. Maybe fully the local foods, but it has to contribute to the nutrition and the health of the family. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to supplement on that. Thank you, my sister, for that submission. What I could also say about agroecology is that in simple terms, agroecology is reminding ourselves what our ancestors used to do. All these constructs you are bringing in, it is re-echoing what these people used to do before the industrial revolution, because that's the origin of every mess. Agroecology is building the mutual relationship between you and the ecosystem, just like you build friendship with someone. Let me use an example of a boyfriend and a girlfriend. When you are in that relationship, you wish for each other good things. As you help her, she also helps you, because you want to see each of you progressing. If you're my girlfriend and all the time I'm the one giving you money for this, and for you are not giving me anything, that's not agroecology. So agroecology, as this ecosystem, I mean ecosystem, I mean land, air, and water. As you are using these resources to get food, you have to ensure that you also give back to them so that you move together, not just milking the ecosystem, you leave it in a state which really. So just be mindful of the resources you're using so that you can equally benefit as these resources are also benefiting. Remember, it is the same resources you are going to use tomorrow, and even your the other generations can. So as we be mindful of preparing how these resources can be sustained, how they can live longer, so that they serve other subsequent generations. That is what we call the agroecology. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that input. I want us to go for a break, but before we go for the break, we've been joined by another colleague. I will give him a chance to introduce himself. He's also going to be taking us through some sessions.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Ajem, and I work with Naumba.
Is it a funny one? Okay, the last one, and then we go for a
All
break.
right, good morning. My name is Milaska, and I'm the founder of the innovation team. We are a digital product of organic products. Mine is a supplement. We talked about use of chemicals. So I was wondering if we don't talk much about chemicals in agriculture, are we really accomplishing goals that we for the agroecology? For example, if it is social values and life, and we don't talk about chemicals, whereby right now in Uganda, around 98% chemicals destroy agroecological practices. For example, by farmers, everyone right now is using chemical. We are no longer using our local way of farming, like our mothers and grandfathers used to do. Whereas right now, every farmer is rushing looking for chemicals. So for me, I'm thinking there is something we are not tackling. If it is recycling, I was talking about waste materials within Kampala. If we can define the way how we can recycle that materials, can we get organic products as than using chemicals? So if it is about biodiversity and soil health, are we really talking much on how we can contribute on soil health without using chemicals? So I think chemicals we need to go deep because this is the main pressure factor we should not neglect.
Okay, thank you so much for that input. I think what we are doing here is weighing, yeah, what contribution the synthetic chemicals bringing to the soil? Are they making any improvements or they're just reducing the quality of the soil? So it's we weigh and go with the heavier part of it, which is most of the time it's going that organic food. Yeah.
People are hungry, I know. But I just want to re-echo what was mentioned in the clip. As I just referred to agroecology, to a mutual relationship, of course you have to understand the ecosystem in which you are operating. Just like your friend, to have a good friendship, you understand their strengths, their weaknesses, what they like, what they don't like. In the same way, you understand your ecosystem. Like we operate through different ecosystems. So you understand your ecosystem, that's what they call the ecosystem context. What works for it and what doesn't work for it. Not necessarily that all the synthetics can be dangerous, but how does this synthetic communicate to the ecosystem you are operating? When you look at countries like Netherlands, I've been to their farms and for them they use binders, soil binders. because their soils are loose. So they have to use these binders to bring back the soil together. Yes, the soil structure. Now, those binders work with their ecosystem, and it's what would work for them. But if we employ those binders to some of our ecosystems here, it will not work. For example, in areas where we have silt clay soils, why would we would not necessarily want to use binders? Because the soil will be compacted and it will develop hard pans, then eventually flooding. Okay. So you just have to understand the ecosystem in which you are operating and what speaks to the ecosystem. Thank you.
Can you please clap for now? She has done a good job, right? Thank you so much, now. I really appreciate it for that presentation. Now, since we're looking at where you need what works out best and what does not work out best, our time really is so small. I am thinking of two things. Can we go ahead and have a working team, please? Or you want to first take a break of 30 minutes? I'm open to what you decide. Do we take a break or we go ahead and have a working? Super. Now that's just people want to have a break, but they're scared of saying so. So we shall go ahead and take a break of 15 minutes. I request us starting from the back, let's go out. So enjoy your tea.